Hey there, in this video, I am going to show you the fastest way, in my opinion, to increase your revenue in your funnel. So let's jump right into it. So first, let me walk through and tell you the story about where I learned this and how I came across this concept, and that is from a good friend of mine, Trey Llewellyn. He reached out to me one day on Facebook. This is years and years ago, as I was just starting to build out my company, CF Pro Tools. And he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I've got this." He sent me a screenshot, and I'll try and throw in a quick screenshot of what that looked like. And he sent me a screenshot. And he said, "Hey, I'm trying to do this in ClickFunnels. Can you help me do that?" And I said, "Sure, no problem. Let me help you with that." And so the thing is he was selling multiple products or it's multiples of a product on a funnel, right? And he wanted the customer to pick more, pick one of the higher quantity options. And in order to do that, you wanted to be able to highlight that there are choices, and that that if you choose a higher quantity, you actually save money in doing so. So we worked on that and got it built out, and he used it and loved it. And then I've had just repeated people that have come to me and said, "Hey, I installed just that one thing on my funnel, and man, it blew up my average cart value and the amount people were spending, every customer was spending." Actually, took a trip to Greece with my wife for a mastermind. We did a business mastermind in Greece in 2018, I believe, and I went. And I was there. We had, I don't know, there were maybe 7 or 8 couples or business owners there. And I was just, it was kind of the first night. We were just getting settled, had, long flight in, and everybody kind of made it to this house. We had a little villa that we rented. And we were just kind of all mingling around. There was kind of an outdoor grill area, and I was standing there next to the grill, actually, where they were kind of cooking some of the food because I was starving. So I was like grabbing little scraps of food off as we went. And I was talking to this couple that was there. My wife and I were both talking to this couple that was there, and I just introduced myself. "Hey, I'm Jamie Smith. I run a company called CF Pro Tools." And they're like, "Yeah, we know who you are." And I'm like, "Oh, how cool is that? I travel halfway around the world, and somebody is using my stuff." They're like, "Yeah, we use CF Pro Tools, and know who you are, and we just super glad to meet you, but we wanted to just share this one story." And I was like, "Oh wow, well, what's that?" And they said, "We had this funnel where we were selling sock caps, like hats, like winter hats that you pull down over your ears." They were selling these hats. And they had set it all up, kind of like Trey does, where you can buy one at one price, buy 2, buy 3, buy 5, buy 10, and you get kind of a price discount at every stage to get people to buy more. And he said, we had this funnel up and running. It was doing okay. It wasn't doing great. It was kind of breaking even almost. He said, but then we went to CF Pro Tools and we got this bestseller highlight add-on. Just one free add-on from CF Pro Tools. It's currently free. They grabbed this, they installed it. He said literally overnight, their average cart value went up by like 52% or something. It was crazy how much it just jumped because of that. And then I had another person that I actually met at that mastermind, but we didn't actually talk about it until like a year and a half later. He came to me, he reached out actually and said, "Hey, I'm having troubles with my Facebook pixel. Can you help me with that?" And so I said, "Hey, send me the funnel. I'll take a look." So I went and looked at the funnel, and we helped him get the Facebook pixel issue figured out. So we got that going. But I said to him, I said, "Hey, you know what? This funnel kind of matches exactly something that I've seen really take off if you just do this one thing. Would you be willing to let me implement just one add-on and have you get the data and see what that looks like?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So on this funnel, he was actually selling LED path lights like you would put along your sidewalk leading up to your house or along your driveway or something like that. There were LED path lights, and they look like tulips, and they look like flowers, and they were metal and like bronze or something, and then they had little glass bulbs, and they look like flowers. So that's what he was selling in this funnel. And I said, "You know what?" And he was doing the same thing. He was selling quantities. You buy one light, it's X. Buy 2 lights, it's X. Buy 3, buy 5, buy 10. And you get a little bit of a price break per item if you buy more. So if you buy more, you spend less per item. And so that's kind of a common theme in e-commerce. A lot of people are trying to do that. And so I said, "You know what? Let me just install this one add-on, and you tell me how it works for you." And so I installed the bestseller highlight add-on for him in that funnel. And like 2 weeks later, I just reached back out to him and said, hey, I just wanted to check in and see how that funnel's doing. See if you saw any improvement. And he reached back to me. He's like, dude, it's crazy. Like we just installed that one thing, and the average cart value went up like 83% or something. It was insane for him. It's like, most people were buying one all the way through, and then we added that on, and now most people are buying like three. And so this is, in my opinion, the fastest way that you can increase your revenue in your funnel. And obviously we've been talking about a lot of e-commerce examples, but this also works if you're not selling e-commerce. If you're selling some sort of a subscription service, whether it's SaaS software or whether it's a monthly membership, content, information marketing membership area or something like that, then it's super easy to implement this as well, because generally you're gonna have monthly plans and annual plans. And a lot of times your annual plan is going to be a multiple of your monthly, right? So if you, on average, get people to stick, say, 4 months on your monthly plan, and you can say, hey, I'm going to charge basically 5 months for my annual plan, whatever the price is for the monthly times 5, that's my annual. To the person that's willing to spend the money, they look at that and see, man, that's a huge discount. If I can just spend, it costs me, less than half if I just pay for the entire year, then that's great. And so that's a great way to increase your revenue, because you actually are getting more money out of the same customer than you would if they just stick on average, right? And so what you can do is actually use this same technique to highlight that, hey, the annual is actually it's a better savings. It's the most popular choice. It's whatever. And get more people to buy the annual, and you'll end up making more revenue. So let's dive in. I want to show you exactly how to do this, and I'll show you an example of this, right? And so I've got this funnel here, and it's just a basic 2-step funnel inside of ClickFunnels. So we're going to build this out real quick. And so, so this is what things look like by default with ClickFunnels. So I've got this funnel built out, and I've got 3 options. Now, normally I'd say, maybe 5 options is actually good, especially if you're doing e-commerce. If you're doing a subscription service and maybe you only offer monthly and annual, then you just have the 2. But same technique works. But for e-com, a lot of times it's, buy 1, buy 2, buy 3, buy 5, buy 10. Sometimes it's more. But this works really well. So, but just to test this out, I just set up 3 products: buy 1, buy 2, buy 3. And by default, ClickFunnels, when somebody lands on this order form, so they fill out the shipping details, and then they get over to step 2, then they're just presented like the 1 is selected by default. And they just are like, oh, what do I do next? Okay, it's already selected. Yep, I just need to put in my credit card number and go. And so they put in their credit card number, and that's it. And they just bought the 1. But what you want is you want them to pick the 2 or the 3, like spend a little bit more money. You're already here. You already paid for the ads to get that person to the page. You might as well try and get them to buy 2 or buy 3 instead of just the 1. So how can we do that? Well, we can do that easily with CF Pro Tools. And it's an add-on called the Bestseller Highlight. And let's go ahead and jump in and get that. So if we go over to CF Pro Tools, this is my CF Pro Tools account. I'm going to go ahead and create a new add-on. And if you've not already got a CF Pro Tools account, just go to cfprotools.com, click Get Started, put in your email address, and you'll get a free account. And that'll get you started for this. So just click the Create New Add-on, and then just do a quick keyword search, and we're going to do best, and then we're going to find Bestseller Highlight. So this is the one we want. And so we're going to click on that, and it's going to take us in to create this add-on. You get a bunch of instructions here at the beginning. In this case, we're just going to scroll past this. You obviously, if you're brand new, will want to watch all these instructions. We'll step through exactly how to set things up. But we're just going to go in, we're going to create this, and the one thing we need here is the product ID, and that's the product ID of the one that we want to have highlighted. And so and then once we do this, I'm going to show you what it looks like with this installed, and we'll see why exactly this is going to help increase your revenue. So let's bounce back over to our ClickFunnels order form page. And so I'm on my, I'm into my ClickFunnels funnel here. I'm on the order form page, and I'm on the products tab. And what I want is I want to highlight the 2-pack. and because I want more people to try and take that. You could highlight the 3-pack as well, but a lot of times choosing the middle choice actually seems to work a little bit better because it gets more people to recognize that there are choices. So I want the 2-pack is the one I want to highlight. So I'm just going to right click on this edit button. I'm going to click copy link address. And then I'm going to go back over to my CF Pro Tools page. I'm going to paste that address in, and it's going to strip down to just the product ID for me. So that is the product ID I need that identifies that product as the choice that I want to have highlighted. And then I want to set my headline, right? And there are a few choices here. By default, it's set to most popular because that's the one I found that works the best. And the reason that, in my opinion, and the reason it works the best is because it gives people that social credibility, that social proof, like, hey, this is the choice that other people are making. People naturally want to be part of the crowd. We're, herd mentality. And so we want to know that other people made the same choice because I think the biggest fear that a lot of people have is making a mistake. Because if they make a mistake, then people aren't going to love me. And so if we can show them that, like, hey, other people are making this choice too, then they're more likely to choose that. So most popular is one way you could go. You could also do best deal, best savings, whatever. You can set whatever you want here. Best deal, save more, anything like that. But by default, it is most popular. And that is the one that, I generally recommend, but certainly test it out and see which one converts better for you. Then we're just going to click the Create Add-on button, and it's going to take us here to the page where we can copy the code. So we just want to grab the code. We're going to copy that. And again, if you have any questions, the video instructions show all of this stuff. So walk through those and you'll be good to go. But we're just going to bounce back into the page, and I have the actual page up in the editor, my order form open in the editor in ClickFunnels right here. So I'm going to go to Settings, and Tracking Code, and then Footer Code, and then paste that code in. And that's all there is to it. And so when that saves, then I'm going to go back over here to my preview, and I'm going to go ahead and reload this page. And now if I toggle to step 2, say I filled all this stuff out and I go to step 2, then it's going to look like this, where I get this big box around that choice. That product is going to show up, and it's going to have the headline most popular. This is going to get more people to say, I want to choose this option, or at least look and say, oh, hey, there are choices here for my products. So let me look. 3-pack. Oh, heck, I save an extra $1 if I buy 3. I'll do that one as well. So it'll get more people to pay attention to the fact that there's a choice to be made on the quantities, and that you can actually highlight the fact that, hey, you're saving money if you buy more. And so this, in my opinion, quickest way to add revenue to your funnel, increase the amount of revenue per customer. That's always the easiest thing to do, because it doesn't mean, hey, I got to throw more money on ads to get more people in. That's one way. But if you can get more out of every customer, you're going to scale much, much, much faster, because you're getting more money, more revenue out of the same ad spend. So you already paid to get the customer in. Instead of having to buy one thing, have them buy 2 things. And you just doubled, or maybe a little less than double your revenue from that same ad spend. So this, in my opinion, best way to increase revenue in your funnel. Hopefully that all makes sense. Go try this out for yourself. Leave in the comments down below what you think of this. If you've tried this, if it works for you, let me know. I'd love to hear what you think about this. And yeah, leave it down in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.